Hi, Mike Alicio from Solo Mode Games. Today I'm going to do a solo run through for a game that has kind of flown under the radar, I think. It's not a brand new game, it's relatively new, a couple of years old I would say, but I don't see very much mentioned about it or talked about it. It's called The Bloody Inn. Part of the reason why it might have flown under the radar could be that it's just a small card game. It doesn't have a huge shelf presence. Also, it does have a very macabre theme, a theme where you are owners of an inn and you are trying to kill your guests to get their money and bury the bodies without attracting too much police attention. So obviously it's not a theme that would work for everybody, but it is apparently based on a historical story, so at least there's that element of it. I also don't think the game takes itself terribly seriously, so it doesn't bother me very much. So anyway, it's a relatively light to medium game of hand management, and I think you'll get a pretty good idea of how the game plays once we get it to the table. So why don't we head over right now and do that. Okay, here we have a solo setup for The Bloody Inn. The setup for a solo game is very similar to a multiplayer game. A couple of little differences that I'll point out. Number one is that in the solo game, I'll be playing blue. You have one blue key that represents your room, so this room number one is going to be my room, and the other three are for neutral, the neutral player. I'm just denoting red as neutral, and so basically there'll be 4 visitors every night that come to the inn. One room is going to be my room, and the other 3 rooms are going to be a neutral room. And you'll see how that kind of plays in as we get going. The only other difference is that in the solitaire game, you're going to have access to 4 peasants, 2 in the bistro here and 2 in your hand. In the multiplayer game, I don't believe you start with the 2 peasants in hand. So that's the main difference there. Just like in the multiplayer game, I start with my marker on the 5 franc space, can never go above 40, and I have a 10 franc check that I have available to me as well. We've got a nice player aid card that goes over the phases of the game. The first phase is welcoming travelers, and then the second phase is player actions. You'll be able to take 2 around. Finally, you've got the third phase, which is the end of round, which has a police investigation, a guest sleeve, and then paying wages, and I'll explain those as we go along. It's a relatively simple game. There's some interesting decisions, but it's a simple game. The actions you can take: you can bribe a guest, build an annex, kill a guest, and bury a corpse. You can also pass. Based off those actions, you probably got the sense that this game has a pretty macabre theme, and it absolutely does. You are playing the owners of this inn, and you are knocking off guests, trying to take their loot, whatever they have in their pockets, and then bury them before the police investigate and figure out what's going on, okay? So here on the left, we've got what's called the entrance deck. These are the guests that are going to come. This is the exit area, basically a discard pile that's going to happen throughout the game. You go through this deck twice. Once you've gone through the deck twice, there is going to be a score matrix you're trying to reach. It is a beat your high score game, which isn't always the favorite when it comes to solo games, but this still has a pretty clever set of mechanics that I think still make it a viable solo game. Alright, so the way it's going to start is we welcome travelers, and so one by one I'm going to take these guests and place them into one of the 4 rooms. Alright, the first guest we have here is a novice. Alright, now I'm going to use this card as an example and kind of explain a few things on this card. Number 1 is every guest, just about every guest, is going to have a specialty. This person's specialty is in burial, burying corpses. It's going to have an amount of money in their pocket, in this case 8 francs. This novice is carrying 8 francs in their pocket. If they were to be unfortunately dispatched of somehow, 8 francs would be available to them. This is their kind of their rank 0. I'll explain what that means. And they have a special ability if you play them in front of you as a annex, it's called. It's going to give you a particular ability. Okay, this annex is an altar. So they're multi-use cards. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this novice in one of the neutral sites. I'm not going to place it in my room. Next, we've got the prince. The prince does not have a special ability. He's a rank 3 and he's got a whole lot of money. He's wealthy. He's a prince. 26 francs is available to him. I do believe I'm going to put him in a novice room as well. Next, we've got an abbot, who is another burial specialty, rank 2, 18 francs. And I'm going to go ahead and place him in, let's see here. Actually, I meant to place, do I want it? Well, I'll place him in my room. I won't take it back at this point. And then finally the novice, another like this first one, we have 3 purple. All right, and I'll place him in that 4th one. Now, that was the first phase, welcoming travelers, and then the second phase is player actions. Now, one thing I do want to point out, you can always see who the next guest coming is, and in this case, the next guest coming is a police officer, and that, as the game progresses, you'll see why that might be important information to acknowledge. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I believe I'm going to bribe a guest. All right. So I will bribe this abbot and make him an accomplice. To do so, you have to basically pay a number of cards equal to the rank. Okay. And in this case, he's a rank 2, so I have to pay 2 cards to get him into my hand. All right, so I have these 2 peasants that were in my hand. When you pay peasant cards, they always go back to the bistro. So I pay those 2 cards, and now I've got this abbot in my hand. All right. Honestly, I played that incorrectly, and you'll see why. I should have put a card in my room that I was not planning on taking on. My mistake. And you'll see why in a moment. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I believe that I'm going to hire this novice. Now or bribe this guest, this novice. This novice is a rank 0, so I don't have to pay any cards from my hand to do that. All right, and so that is the end. I've taken my 2 actions. I've bribed 2 guests, taken them into my hand, and now I go to the end of the round. Police investigation. If there were any police officers in the rooms here, they would do an investigation, and if I had any dead bodies in the solo game, I would lose the game. That's a little different than in the multiplayer game. In the multiplayer game, if you have a police investigation, you've got dead bodies that have not been buried in an annex, then you could pay off somebody to kind of hide the evidence, so to speak, with 10 francs. But in the solo game, you lose if during any police investigation there's a dead body that has not been buried, okay? So there is no police investigation. Next, the guests leave, all right? In this case, these 2 guests are going to go away. They're going to go into the exit, not into the bistro, all right? And now we have to pay wages, all right? I have 2 cards in hand, so basically I have to spend 1 franc for every card that's in my hand. So in this case, I've got 2 cards, so I pay 2 francs. If I had a person in my room during the leaving action, the guest leaving action, I would have gotten a franc for that. And that's why it's good to put a card in your room that you're not expecting to take. All right, so there we go. That's the end of the first round, and we're going to move on to round 2. All right, so we start again with the welcoming travelers. Now here I've got a police officer, and this means that if he's still around at the end of the round, there will be a police investigation. I'm going to go ahead and put him in a neutral room. I don't necessarily, depending on what comes up. If another police officer comes up, I might change my plans. Okay, I've got a count, a level 2, a rank 2 count. I'll place him in a neutral room. I've got another level 0 novice, and I do have another police officer, and that does change my... I think that's going to change my plan. All right, so what I'm going to do is put him in my room, and I'll place this brigadier... Oops, I didn't want to see that. This brigadier chief in that 4th neutral room. Now, my original thought was if a second police officer had not shown up, I was going to bump off one of these police officers because I've got cards in hand that help me bury. I'll explain how that works. But since there's going to be a police investigation, I would have an unburied body, and that's not going to work. So for my first action, what I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to bribe a guest. I'm going to bribe, actually, some peasants. When you bribe peasants, you take them from the bistro, and you can take either 1 or 2. I'll go ahead and take 2 of those peasants. And then for my second action, I'm going to go ahead and bribe this brigadier chief. So yes, you can take the policeman on, and then, you can have some dirty policemen. It's an unfortunate fact. So I'll go ahead and pay those 2 cards that I just played to take this brigadier chief as one of my accomplices. Okay, so that's the end of that round. I've taken the 2 actions. I bribed 2 guests. There's a police investigation since we've got one here. There are no dead bodies, so nothing to worry about there. I do have a guest in my room, so he's going to pay me a franc. All right, guests are going to leave. These go away. I have to pay my wages. So I've got 3 in hand, 1, 2, and 3. All right. And we start the next round. Here we've got a shopkeeper. All right. This is a level 3 shopkeeper. A lot of money there. 26 francs. Go ahead and put that there. This is Viscount. It's got 12 francs. I'll go ahead and place that there. It's a level 1, a rank 1. A newsboy, level 0, 8 francs. Place him there. And a monk, level 1 monk, 12 francs. Place him there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kill a guest. Horrible as that sounds. I'll go ahead and kill this Viscount. So to do that, he's a level 1. So you need to spend 1 card to kill that guest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Brigadier Chief and flip him over. Okay, so now we show that that guest is now dead. Level 1, 12 francs. You don't get the money right away. There is a code of conduct in the game. You can only get the money once you have actually buried them. Okay, now normally you would spend the card that you paid to do an action into the discard pile. However, his ability is he is better at killing. He's a police officer, and so he actually comes back into my hand instead of being discarded. Okay, so that was my first action. My second action now is going to be to bury that corpse. It's a level 1, so it takes 1 to bury him. And what I'll do is I will spend this novice to bury it. And the novice, as we saw earlier, has burying as its special ability, so I'm actually going to be able to take that back into hand. So this burial has to be under a annex. This is a level 1 annex. Yes, the player aid card is actually also a level 1 annex. You can see that right there, that 1. It's a barn. So you can bury 1 body underneath that annex. So now this is full. But I'm going to go ahead and get those 12 francs. So I go up to 13 francs now. And he's going to come back into my hand because he's got the burial special ability. All right. So those were my 2 actions. Police investigation. There are no police officers, but even if there were, this body is safely buried, so I would be okay. The guests are going to leave. I do have a guest in my room, so I get that franc. These are going to go away. I have to pay wages. I still have 3 cards in hand. 1, 2, and 3. All right. And now we go on to the next round. All right, the cultivator. It's a rank 0. All right. I am going to need to be looking to build another annex. And so I don't want level 0 annexes because you can't bury any bodies under them. They do give you some powers, but so I'll put him, although he has an ability of building annexes, so I'll put him here. Now you've got the newsboy, all right, a rank 0. Place him in my room because I don't think I'm going to be using him. You've got a concierge. He's a rank 2, so he might be good to use as an annex, all right? And then a distiller, okay? And at the top of our deck, we've got another police officer, so we need to keep that in mind for next round's potential police investigation. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I do wanna get this distiller. Actually, I think I'm going to get the cultivator into my hand because I want to use him to build an annex. So he's a rank 0, so I will take him into my hand. All right, didn't cost me anything to do so. All right, and now I'm going to also bribe this concierge. All right, I'll bribe this concierge. It's going to cost 2 to do that. I'll go ahead and play my novice and my brigadier chief. Now these are out of my hand. All right, and then that's the end of that round. Police investigation does not trigger. I will get a franc for being in my room. These get discarded. Pay wages, I have 3 cards in hand, 1, 2, and 3. All right, and now this round I'm going to be looking to build an annex. All right, peacekeeper. I'll put him here. I may end up taking him again. Cultivator, level or rank 0 cultivator. I will probably not take him. The butcher is a rank 3. And the cultivator, another rank 0, and we've got another police officer for next round. So the police are very much visible here. All right, lots of police coming to this inn. All right, so the first thing I want to do is build an annex. Actually, no, I don't. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to build this as an annex. All right, it's a rank 2. So to build this as an annex, you need to spend 2 cards. All right. And so I'm going to spend these 2 cards. However, this cultivator has the trowel symbol, which means that he's going to come back because his special ability is to help building annexes. So the abbot goes away. And now, since this is built, I get a special ability here. It says, immediately place a room service token next to a key token. From now on, when a guest rents this room, he immediately pays a sum equal to his rank. All right. All right. When a guest rents this room. Well, this is not, for the solo game, quite honestly, this doesn't do a whole lot. This is really something that hurts other people more. Quite honestly, I played this more just because I wanted to have I wanted to have an annex. So I'll put it there, but it's not going to really do anything. What you would do there is basically you would make it so that it could potentially harm other players, make it more costly for them. All right. So I went ahead and did that. But more importantly, I have that level 2 annex. All right. Now I need to remember if I think that was my first action. I went ahead and played that. Okay. So for my second action, I believe what I'm going to do is I will probably go ahead and bribe one of these 0. And I might just go ahead and bribe this peacekeeper. Okay, he's easier. He's got a better ability to kill. All right, so I go ahead and I get a franc for the cultivator being in my room. They go away. And I pay wages, which is 2, and we come to the next round. All right, so the Brigadier, I'm going to go ahead and place here. The Priest is a rank 3. Wow, he's got a lot of money though. Unfortunately, I'll place him there because I know that I'm not going to be able to get a hit call to him. Representative here, we've got a rank 1 representative, 12 francs, and we've got a rank 2 concierge, 18 francs. We'll go ahead and place him there. All right, well, let's see here. I do believe that I want to, well, could I get, I would love to be able to get those 26 francs. That's a lot of money, but I don't think there's any way to kill and bury because I don't have enough cards in hand. And I do, if I didn't have this police investigation, it would be fine. So I could do that with one of these. No, with this one I could because he's only a rank 1. And so maybe I'll do that. I will spend 1. Well, no, if I spent 2, yeah, I'll spend 1. I'll kill this representative. All right, I'll use my peacekeeper. It takes 1, but I'm going to get him back. He is now dead. All right, and it takes 1 to bury him. And I'll go ahead and use the cultivator to bury him. He goes away because he doesn't have that special ability. He now goes underneath that annex, and I'm going to get 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, that was my 2. Those were my 2 actions. All right, there is a police investigation because there's a police officer there, but there are no dead bodies. They've all been safely stored under annexes. All right, and so I'm going to gain my franc for that. They're going to go away. I have to pay my 1 wage. All right, and now we are at the end of that round, starting a new one. Okay, well, let's see here. Got a mechanic, rank 1 mechanic, 12 francs. Put him there. Rank 3 landscaper. Again, boy, he's got a lot of money, but I don't think I'm going to get enough to get him because I've got another police officer here, unfortunately, so he's going to go there. Police officer we'll put here, and another rank 1 representative. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I think I want to bribe some, do I want to bribe peasants? I could bribe this peasant. Now it would make it cheaper to bribe guests because that's his special ability. So maybe I'm going to do this. I will bribe some, yeah, I'll do that. I'll bribe some peasants. I'll bring in 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and use one of these peasants to bribe this representative who will now be in my hand. We have now a police investigation, no dead bodies to be found, so we're okay. I gain a franc for the landscaper. They go away. I pay my wages. I have 3, 1, 2, and 3. All right, new round begins. The Baron. Boy, we just police everywhere. Police, police, police. He's a 0. Probably not going to be looking at him. We've got a peacekeeper. He's going to go here. We've got another Baron. Wow, none of these are particularly high value for killing. So he'll go there. All right. So perhaps, wow, none of these are particularly exciting to me, quite honestly. They're not great for annexes. They don't really give a lot of money. I mean, this 12 is not awful, but I don't know that I want to use up my second spot there for that. So I think what I might do is, yeah, I'll bribe this Viscount. I'll use my representative, okay? He's going to come back to me since his bribery is his special ability. And then I'm going to build a annex. I'll build this annex here, this king size bed. It's a level rank 1 annex. To build that, I'll use my peasant. And I immediately earn 6 francs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so now I've got 2 places that I can potentially bury bodies in the future. We've got a police investigation. There are no dead bodies to be found. I gain a franc for the Baron in my room. These go away. I have to spend 2 to pay my wages, and those go down. Okay, we've got an abbot. That's not bad. That's 18 francs. He goes here. This monk, oh, a bishop. 26. Now, I can tell you right now, if no police officer comes out, that bishop is not long for this world. Put the monk there. Bishop here. Aha! I think we're good. He's going to go here, and the count is going to go here. All right. So, I definitely want that bishop to meet an unfortunate demise because there are 26 francs for that. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I will first bribe 2 peasants, all right, and then for my second action I'm going to kill the bishop. He's a rank 3, all right, so I'll spend these 3 cards, the 2 peasants and the peacekeeper, flip him over, all right. These peasants go back. The peacekeeper, since killing is his special ability, comes back to me, all right. That was my second action because I did the peasants first. All right, so now there is a police investigation. There is no police investigation, thankfully, or else I wouldn't have been able to do that. Okay, so he's just sitting there dead. I'm going to have to bury him relatively soon. Guests leave. I do get a franc for the monk in my room. These go away. And I pay my wages. I pay 2. All right. And then I got to make sure I get him buried. It's going to take 3 to do so. All right. Let's see. We've got a Baron. Don't think I'm going to worry about him. He's going to go there. Monk is going to go here, and I do have a police investigation, so I really need to pay that in mind. He's going to go there, and the newsboy is going to go here. Now, I've got a couple of options. For the police investigation, I could either just go ahead and bury him early on, or you can kill the major too, and he's got a boatload of gold, francs I should say. The issue is that anything over 40 would be wasted unless I passed, and what's called basically, you're basically, what's the term for it? You're washing your money, but you have to waste a turn to some extent. You've got to pass to do that. Do I take that risk? I don't know if I've got more police officers. I would take a couple of rounds to do so. So do I take the safe route and just go ahead and bury this person now, which I could certainly do? Do I kill this major and then leave it out here and hope that a police investigation doesn't come up? I think I'm going to play it safe because I lose the game if I don't. If I have a police investigation unsuccessful, or a successful police investigation in the solo game. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and first I'll recruit these peasants, or I'll bribe these peasants, get 2 of those. Then I'm going to bury this body. I'm going to spend these 3 cards to bury it. I'll put it under my level 2 annex here because I've got room for 1 more there. And now these all go away because none of them have the burial ability. And I get 26. All right. And I actually, yeah, I'm wasting. Actually, that was a shame. I wasted some francs there. That's not good, but that's the breaks. All right. That was my first action. Well, actually, if I launder money first, I was at 22. If I launder money first, then I can bury him. Yeah, let's do that. I'll take these back into hand. I'll launder money first. I've got 22. So to launder, you pass, and you can turn these in for checks. So I'll take that down to 2 and take 2 checks. So that was my first action. Now for my second action, I'm going to bury that, do what I did before. These go back. He goes there. Now I get all 26. So that's the benefit of that. All right, so that puts me at 28. So I don't lose any. And now I've got my checks over here and I've got all that money. So that's why that actually plays a role in timing, okay? So now we are at the end of the round. There is a police investigation because there's a police in the inn, but everything looks safe here, no problems. I go ahead and get my franc for the Baron being in my room. They all go away. All right, I pay my 1 and we go to the next round. We've got exactly 4 here. So we've got the Duke, very, a lot of money there, but I don't think I'm going to take him this round, so he's going to go here. Although maybe I built him as an annex. Yeah, I think I want to build him for an annex, so I'm going to put him here because I think I am going to use that. The Peacekeeper, I'm going to put him in my room. The Viscount, I'm going to place here. And the Cultivator, I'm going to place here. All right. So, I will... I will bribe the peasants. My first action. Second action is I will bribe the Duke. It takes 3 to do so. However, he comes back into my hand because that's his special ability. The peasants go back to the bistro. And now I've got the Duke in my hand for the next round. I'm going to use him for his stables annex. All right. So that's the end of the round. There's a police investigation. Everything looks good. The guests are going to leave. I get my 1 franc for him. They go away. I spend my 2, 1 and 2, and now we're at the end of the round and we have an empty draw deck, so I need to reshuffle this, and this is going to be, when we get through this, that's the end of the game. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera so I can shuffle and you don't have to sit there and wait for it. Okay, so I shuffled and I moved over my annexes. I think these may have been off camera a little bit, so I wanted you to get a better idea of where those are so you can see them. And we're moving on to our next phase here, welcoming travelers. We've got a rank 1 Viscount. I do know that on this turn what I want to do is get this Duke out as a level 3 annex. So let's go ahead and put him here, put him in my room because I know I'm going to not take him. The Mechanic's going to go here. The Cultivator's going to go here. And another Cultivator is going to go here. Well, let's see here. It takes 3 to get the Duke down as an annex. So I can go ahead right now and just recruit some peasants or bribe some peasants. It would be nice to have one of these in my hand because then it would make it cheaper to build the annex. I could keep them in my hand, but maybe I do want to do that. I don't know. I'd like to keep that representative in my hand because he makes it so much cheaper to bribe. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and recruit these peasants. I'm just gonna not overthink it for my first turn. Second turn, I go ahead and spend all of these. The peasants go back into the bistro. The representative does have to go away, unfortunately. And I build this Duke as a level 3 stables annex. Immediately earn 4 francs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Earn 4 francs per green card in the exit stack. So, actually I need to check, is that immediately? Because if that's the case, at the end of the game, good, okay. Right now that would not have been a good play. But at the end of the game, that might be good for me, okay? Hopefully I'll be putting some green cards in that stack. Okay, so now I've got 4 places to put bodies. That were both of my actions. And so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is get my 1 franc for the Viscount, and I don't have any cards in hand, so I don't have to pay any wages. All right, those go away. Now this shopkeeper would have been a really juicy target. 26 francs. I mean, I guess she makes a lot of money as a shopkeeper, but I don't know that I'm going to be in a position to do that, depending on how police officers come out. So I am going to go ahead and place her here just in case. Let's see who else comes out. The Baron, I want to have green cards in the exit stack, so I'm going to keep him in my room. I know that I want to put him over here. The Monk, 12. Well, I don't see any police officers. And the Novice here. All right. Well, unfortunately, there's no way to get her on this turn out of the picture. So let's see what I'll do. I know I'm going to want to be burying soon. So I will go ahead and bribe this Novice. It's a rank 0, so it doesn't cost me any cards to bribe it. And I'll bribe a couple of peasants. It's going to cost me some money in wages, but I think it'll be worth it. I go ahead and get a franc for that. They go away. I really would have loved that shopkeeper, but not going to happen. And then I pay my 3 francs, 1, 2, and 3. All right, here we go. This count, that's a decent amount of money, but that Brigadier Chief right there means that I may not be looking to do that. All right, count's gonna go there. Brigadier Chief's gonna go here. Cultivator, ooh, Prince, 26. Wow. Boy, that would be nice, but again, not going to do me much. Okay, if that Brigadier Chief wasn't there, I'd be in a better shape. So, I think what I'm going to do, I might have to get rid of the Brigadier Chief. I'd love to do that instead, but there's no way I'd be able to bury him. So, I think what I need to do is go ahead and spend 2. Brigadier Chief is now, unfortunately, demised. All right, it's going to take 2 more to dispose of that body. All right, was that my first action? I'm trying to remember if that was my first action or not here. Let's see. I placed them out. I had those 2 peasants in my hand already. So, no, that was my first action. And now for my second action, I think I'm going to need to bribe again these peasants because I'm going to need to bury that body the next turn. All right, I gain a franc for that. They go away. Now I need to pay 3 in wages. 1, 2, and 3. And we come back. We've got the Novice here. All right. I'll put him here. The Monk is 12. Oh, the Butcher, 26. Wow. All right, put him here, Butcher here. Oh boy, look at these big cards. And the Major at 26. So here comes a big chance. Do I go ahead and off one of those? Because the thing is, I'm going to have to pass to be able to launder money, or else I would waste all of those francs. There's got to be some more police coming up here. Oh boy, I've got this spotty here I need to deal with. Well, actually, first thing I need to do is launder money. I mean, because I would be wasting a lot of that. Well, yeah, I would be. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pass. I'm going to launder money. And I'm going to turn in, I'll go up to 8 and I'll take 2 checks. All right. Second action is, boy, part of me is wanting to go ahead and off one of these, but I would have to, I'm taking a huge risk because if a police officer comes up in that next round, I'd be in a lot of trouble. All right, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go ahead and bury that body. Takes 2, but I have 1 with an ability, so I'm just going to place that here, keep him, place him under this annex. It's going to get me 18 francs right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. And now I go ahead and end this round. no police investigation. I get a franc for that. They go away. Oh, there is a police investigation, but I'm okay, sorry. I pay my wages, 1 and 2, and now we've got the next round. Okay, next round, we've got 8 franc cultivator, not terribly exciting, so I do believe he's going to go in my room so that he can give me some money. We've got an abbot, 18, that's a pretty decent amount of money there. We've got a newsboy and another newsboy, yeah, okay. We have a peacekeeper that's going to be showing up in the next round, so a police officer investigation is going to happen on the next round. So, if I were to kill him, if I were to kill the abbot, I would need to bury him next round, and I'm not sure I'd get all of his benefit. I would not. So, let's see here. But I've got 3 spots here. So the trick is, do I just start doing killing the smaller value, or saving up for the bigger ones? Well, all right. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and recruit these peasants. All right, my first action, recruiting the peasants. Now I've got 3 peasants. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 of them to kill the abbot. All right, so he's there. And end of the round. This may not have been a great move, but it's the one I did, so I'm sticking with it. I get 1 franc for the cultivator being in my room. These go away. I spend 2 in wages. And now we've got the next round. Well, the peacekeeper, he's coming out. So there will be a police investigation at the end of this round. I have to do something about that body. The distiller is going to go here. The monk's going to go here. The novice is going to go here. All right, well, so I've got some options here. What I'd really like to do, let's see here, 18. I'd be losing 2 francs by burying this right now, by burying that body right now. The other option is killing the peacekeeper, because then there wouldn't be a police investigation. However, I know there's going to be one next round. Although he's 0 to kill, that may be the way to go, actually. And killing him first so that I can... Okay, well, I'm going to try this. This is where things get dicey. All right, so I'm going to spend... I don't have to spend any to kill him. He's a rank 0. All right? So now I've got 2 dead bodies here. First action. Second action is... Do I want to pass, or do I want to go ahead and bury the 8 right now? I think I'll go ahead and bury him right now. It's a 0, so I can bury him for no cards. He goes here, I get 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so that was the second action. There is no police investigation. I gain a franc for the monk in my room. These go away. I pay my wages, 1 and 2, and now these are going to come out. We've got the brigadier here. We'll put him here. We've got the priest. We've got 2 police officers. Yep. Oh boy, we've got nothing but police officers. So we've got 3 here, 1 showing up at the beginning of the next round. So yeah, I'm going to have to definitely deal with that police officer. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go ahead and pass. I'm going to launder some money. So this is 31 is going to go down to 1. I'll take 3 checks. And then I'm going to bury this body, because otherwise the game would end. So it's 2. I have a novice, so he's going to come back into my hand. The peasant will go here. This body is going to go under here, and it's going to get me to 18. So actually going to take me to 19. All right. Pardon me. Now, police investigation, we're all clean here. Nothing to see here. I get a franc for the Peacekeeper in my room. These go away. I have one card that I'm going to pay the wages for. He's been worth every penny, let me tell you. He's done a lot for me. All right, here we go. Now I've got one more place to place a body, and I'm running out of spots, running out of turns here. So Brigadier, we'll go ahead and put him here. The Abbot, worth 18. He'd be nice to get here too. Put him here. The Count, I'm going to put in my room because I definitely want greens to go in the pile because of this stables. And then the Baron. All right. We have a Peacekeeper showing at the beginning of the next round. Okay, so I'd love to be able to just kill that Abbot, who's 18, but I'd have a police investigation and I wouldn't be able to do both. I wouldn't be able to kill and bury. Don't have enough cards to do so. So I believe the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and recruit or bribe. Yeah. Okay, let's bribe the peasants. Take 2 of them. I'm going to bribe the Brigadier, I believe. Take him in hand and spend one of those peasants. Now, police investigation is not going to happen. I gain 1 for the Count in my room. They go away. Those green cards are going to give me points at the end of the game. I spend 3 to pay the wages, 1, 2, and 3. And now, here we go. Peacekeeper's coming out. Pardon me. Baron is coming out. Aha, the Concierge. He's a potential target. And then, oh, the Landscaper would be wonderful, but I don't think I'd have enough for him. I think I'm going to have to be happy with the Concierge. Okay, so here we go. To kill the Concierge takes 2. Ooh, am I going to be able to do this? I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it. Because to kill him, at the end of the game, I can't have any dead bodies. I can't have any unburied bodies either. So, I think I'm going to miss it by 1. Because, let's see, it takes 2 cards to kill him. I would spend the Brigadier and the Peasant. I would get the Brigadier back. Oh, I'd kill him, and then I can spend 2 to bury him. So I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay. All right, so I kill the Concierge. I spend the Peasant and the Brigadier, who comes back in my hand because of his ability. So now he's dead. And then for my second action, I bury him in my stables. I actually get the Novice back because he's got that. The Brigadier goes away. He goes in my last spot there in the stables. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. There is a police investigation. However, everything is clean here. I get 1 for him staying in my room. Thanks for staying. And then I spend 1 in my wages. And now we are at 1 card left. So let me see if this ends the game here. Let's see. There is a do not play the last round if there are fewer travelers in the inn than there are players. All right, so we'd have 1 player. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think there's any way I'm going to get any more points. So we're going to end the game here. I honestly don't know if I should have played a last round or not, but I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Okay, so end of the game. Let me kind of calculate where we're at. Or well, I double checked the rule book, and I don't know if it would make much of a difference, but I'm going to go ahead and go through this last round because it said you wouldn't play the last round if there are fewer guests in the inn than players, and there's going to be 1. So I do have this guest in the inn. I have it. There's not fewer. So one thing I could do is I could go ahead and pass, and I might as well just do that. Yeah, because hiring him, actually wouldn't make sense because I'm going to get one for him being in my room. So I will actually get an extra frank for that. So the first thing I'll do is I'll pass, and I'll go ahead and knock that down to 7 and take 3 checks. And then I'll also pass for my second round, but I do get, oh, I wish there was a way I could have gotten rid of him. It's going to be a wash because I'm going to get one for him being in my room, but then I've got to pay a wage. Okay, so here's the end of the game. I am at, let's see here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 117, plus 4 per green card in the exit stack. So 117 plus, let's see, I've got, let's get all the green cards here. All right, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So 28. All right, so let's just go 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I could do math, but I don't trust myself. So we got 35 there. Let's just do this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 145. I thought so, but I just want to double check myself. As I said, I don't trust myself mathematically. So at the end of the game, we take a look here. I said 145. And so what that puts me in, you've got a little kind of matrix here. See if I can get that in focus. Is that going to get in focus? Let's put it up closer, maybe. Aha, there we go. 145. I am a hazardous innkeeper. All right, I just missed out on the next one, which is an evil innkeeper. You need to get above 170 for a demonic innkeeper. So, second level of mastery there. Not terrific, but not horrible, I guess. I ended up with 3 additional annexes, including the one that I started with. I had 4. They were all filled. So I feel pretty good about that. Hopefully you got a pretty good idea of how the game is played. It's a very macabre theme. If, you know, the theme I know is off-putting for a lot of people. And actually the artwork, I guess, is off-putting for a lot of people. I love the artwork. I don't mind the theme. I think it's very, you know, it doesn't seem to take itself terribly seriously, so I don't really feel this deep connection to the theme, you know, really being that macabre. But the artwork I actually really like. I think it's very distinctive and unique, but being unique and distinctive, I know it can be divisive as well. I've heard a lot of people say that they're not really a fan of the art. However, I absolutely do enjoy the art. So hopefully you got a pretty good idea of how the game is played, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.